If you live here in the United States and you are required to file federal taxes, you need to watch this video, whether you have yet to file or you're just waiting for your federal tax return to come through. And I want to break down what's happening because we are now starting to hear some warnings, some rumors that there may be some massive cuts coming to the IRS in order to bring down our national deficit. Well, if this happens, this could mean delays for millions and millions of returns. So I'm going to break down what's going on, what just happened over the past several days, and what lawmakers are looking to do over the next couple of months. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So yes, it's crazy to think that our federal tax returns could be delayed even more than what many people are already experiencing. Keep in mind, the IRS does have a little bit of a worker shortage. They have a backlog of IRS tax returns that they need to get done even from previous years. Keep in mind, the IRS just recently sent out a stimulus check to 3 million people, 2.8 million people, and they did this, and keep this in mind, they did this because these were payments that were due from years ago, but they just got around to it. Look at this right here. It says the IRS tax filing could be upended for millions of Americans. Here's what you need to know. The Department of Government Efficiency, run by Elon Musk, is looking at so many different possibilities to just rein in spending on a federal level. So he's looking at so many different things. Every agency is being looked at under a microscope, and they're trying to determine where can they cut back fraud, wasted funding, and what can they do. Well, look at this. It says, tech billionaire Elon Musk has caused confusion after he claimed that a government agency that worked on technology projects such as the IRS's direct file program has been deleted. Again, keep in mind what Elon Musk says sometimes isn't exactly what's going on, but he is very clear. Look at this right here. So somebody posted, 18F, the far-left government-wide computer office that was recently taken over by allies of Elon Musk is also the same agency that built Elizabeth Warren's direct file tax program. It says direct file puts the government in charge of preparing people's tax returns for them. Elon Musk says that group has been deleted. What we do know is that maybe the group has been deleted, but as far as the government's direct file program, people can still file their federal tax returns using this direct file program from the IRS. Okay? But keep this in mind, it is something that many people are skeptical about. That if you fall under a certain income threshold, in certain states, you can use this government's direct file program, file directly with the IRS. You don't have to go through any third party, But by doing so, you are actually putting all your information, everything out there directly to the IRS. So there's really no safeguard. That's what some people are a little bit worried about. But as far as Elon Musk is concerned, well, he may be ending this program. It may not happen this year, but some are still a little bit skeptical that it would happen. Meaning, you may not be able to file using that free file software, right? Just keep that in mind. Now, here's another thing I want to show you, Donald Trump is considering letting go of all the new IRS agents that were hired over the past several years. Look at this. It says Trump considering firing nearly 90,000 newly hired IRS agents. That was something that he's considered. And he's considered firing these people because with the advancements of technology, with AI, with so many other things, we do not need 90,000 new IRS agents. Could we use some during the peak tax times? Yes. hiring people for seasonal work makes sense. But from the federal government standpoint, hiring an IRS agent or 90,000 of them all year round just makes no sense, because we could use technology, we can use AI, we can use the systems that we have in place, and that could go and figure out if a certain person or business should be flagged for a manual review. But again, keep in mind, that's kind of where we're at. I want to play you a clip. So just the other day, okay, actually earlier today, a congressman, a Republican congressman, was asked, how can we potentially trim the fat? Okay, as to what they're saying. What they're trying to do is to cut some of the money that's going out, the funding. He says we need to look into discretionary funding. He says we cannot make cuts to Social Security or Medicare. Can't make cuts there. But there's other places we can make cuts. Just listen to what he has to say and where he thinks we could potentially make these cuts.
Well, I would get rid of the IRS agents. I would get rid of the new FBI building. I would get rid of so many of the incentives that go to things that should not be funded or incentivized in the first place. It's the private sector.
Right there. He'd get rid of the IRS agents. He'd get rid of the new FBI building, right? Gone. Those are just some of the spending cuts. Now, the Republican Party is looking at many ways to bring down spending, to rein it in, to save some of this money, to put it towards better uses. But how are we going to do that? Well, that's where things are looking very interesting. Look at this. It says President Trump suggests sending IRS agents to the border. He talked about this weeks ago, where he said that he could potentially just send all these 88,000 IRS agents, send them down to the U.S.-Mexico border, and they can work there. They would be pretty much redistributed into different agencies, but we could have those workers just move to a different area. Simple, right? Well, here's the thing. If we eliminate all these IRS agents and you put in your federal tax return, but it now requests a manual review, that could really slow you down. You wouldn't get your federal tax return in the next week. Chances are you're going to get it within the next few months. Keep in mind that we've seen this before, where the American people are trying to file their taxes. Again, you have until April 15th. But if you're trying to file your federal tax return and it gets flagged, it doesn't get accepted, and you have to keep going back in and changing things, guess what? If it keeps getting flagged, then when it finally does go through, there will be a manual review. And if you have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people that are all needing manual reviews, but yet we don't have enough IRS agents, well, guess what? It takes a little bit longer. Now, the flip side to that, if you have all these IRS agents, that's great. We could get returns very quickly, but there's also, according to reports, a higher likelihood that you will be audited. So, just keep this in mind. Do you want your federal tax return quicker in the event that there is a manual review, or do you just want to make sure that you do not get audited for whatever reason? That's the big question. So as of right now, there's a lot of speculation as to what is going on regarding the IRS. Are we going to see more agents? Are we going to see less agents? Are we going to see certain people not get their federal tax returns? Right? What's going to happen? Well, we're going to find out very soon, because as of right now, billionaire Elon Musk, who is running the Department of Government Efficiency, is looking at all avenues to rein in spending. And the IRS is one of the biggest ones. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. That is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.